Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation on essay writing. I'm excited to have you all here. On this first slide, you'll see the title, Essay Writing. We'll also be exploring some key tips and strategies to help you write more effectively. Over the next few slides, we'll cover how to plan, structure, and craft compelling essays. So let's get started and make this a valuable session for everyone. Let's take a quick look at the contents of today's presentation. We'll start with an introduction to essay writing, which sets the foundation for everything else. Then, we'll move on to an overview of what essay writing entails, giving you a broad understanding of its purpose and structure. Next, we'll explore the key characteristics of essay writing, what makes an essay effective and engaging. After that, we'll classify different types of essays to understand their unique features and purposes. We'll also cover how to write an effective essay, focusing on strategies and techniques to improve your writing. Then, we'll break down the parts of an essay so you know what each section should accomplish. Following that, we'll look at the various types of essays, giving you examples and insights into each one. Finally, we'll discuss the importance of proofreading and revision, crucial steps to ensure your essay is polished and error-free, and we'll wrap up with references for further reading. Throughout the presentation, keep in mind that understanding these components helps you develop clear, structured, and compelling essays, which is the overall theme of mastering essay writing. Let's start by exploring what an essay truly is. According to the concise Oxford Dictionary, an essay is described as a literary composition, usually in prose and relatively short, on any subject. What this means is that an essay is a written piece, but it's more than just writing for the sake of it. It's a way to express your personal ideas or opinions about a particular topic. However, the key point here is that an essay isn't limited to just personal reflections. It can also serve to provide information, tell a story, or describe something in detail. So, whether you're sharing your own viewpoint or presenting facts, the essence of an essay is about communicating clearly and effectively through writing. This understanding ties into our overall theme of mastering essay writing because it highlights the importance of clarity, purpose, and audience. Whether you're writing to persuade, inform, or entertain, knowing what an essay encompasses helps you structure your ideas more coherently. When we talk about the characteristics of essay writing, the first thing to remember is unity. An essay needs to be a cohesive piece, meaning it should focus on one main subject and explore it thoroughly in an organized way. Next, style is important. The style should be simple, direct, and clear so that your ideas come across easily and your reader stays engaged. Then, there's the aspect of order. A well-organized essay follows a logical structure, guiding the reader smoothly from one point to the next. Personal touch is also key. Your essay should reflect your individual voice or personality. It's what makes your writing unique and relatable. Lastly, brevity matters. Your essay should be concise, avoiding unnecessary words or digressions, so it remains impactful and easy to follow. All these elements together help create strong, effective essays that communicate ideas clearly and engagingly. Now, let's take a closer look at the classification of essay writing. Essays can generally be divided into 5 main types. First, we have the narrative essay, which is all about telling a story or recounting an experience. It's very personal and engaging. Next is the descriptive essay, where the focus is on creating vivid images through detailed descriptions. This type helps the reader really see and feel what you're describing. Moving on, the third type is the expository essay. This one aims to explain or inform, presenting facts and logical ideas clearly and straightforwardly. Fourth, we have the reflective essay, which involves thinking deeply about a topic, often connecting personal insights with broader issues. And finally, there's the imaginative or creative essay, which encourages originality and creative expression, often exploring ideas in a more artistic way. Understanding these classifications helps us see how versatile essay writing can be, and how choosing the right type can effectively communicate your message depending on your goal. Now, let's talk about the first type of essay on this slide, narrative essays. A narrative essay is really about telling a story, specifically, a story from your own life or a real-life experience. It might sound simple, just sharing a story, but it actually challenges you to think deeply about your experiences and to write about yourself in a compelling way. When you're working on a narrative essay, it's important to involve your reader. You want to make your story vivid and engaging so that they feel like they are right there with you. This means using descriptive language and details that bring your story to life. Remember, the goal is not just to tell what happened, but to make the reader see, hear, and feel what you experienced. This type of essay is a great way to connect personally with your audience, and it ties into the overall theme of effective storytelling and personal expression in writing. Now, let's talk about descriptive essays. These are a special kind of writing that really focus on painting a picture with words. When you write a descriptive essay, you're trying to help the reader see, hear, feel, or even smell what you're describing. You might choose to describe a person, a place, an object, or even a memory that holds special meaning for you. The goal here is to go beyond just stating facts. You want to communicate a deeper meaning or emotion through your description. To do that effectively, you'll want to use colorful, vivid words and include sensory details, things like sights, sounds, smells, and textures that bring your subject to life. Remember, the key is to show, not just tell. Use your words to create a vivid image that allows the reader to experience what you're describing as if they were there with you. This approach makes your writing more engaging and meaningful, tying back to our overall theme of creating rich, expressive writing. All right, let's talk about expository essays. So, in this type of writing, the main goal is to explain or define a topic clearly. The writer uses facts, statistics, and examples to support their explanation, making sure the reader understands the subject thoroughly. Expository writing isn't limited to one form. It actually includes a variety of essay types. For example, there are comparison and contrast essays, where you look at similarities and differences between ideas. Then there are cause and effect essays, which explore how one thing leads to another. And of course, there are how-to or process essays that guide the reader step by step through a process. The key idea here is clarity, using facts and examples to make complex ideas understandable. These different variations help writers approach topics from different angles, but all share the goal of informing or explaining. As we move through the presentation, keep in mind how this kind of writing is essential for communicating ideas effectively, especially when we want to educate or clarify concepts for our audience. Let's talk about reflective essays. A reflective essay is all about sharing your thoughts and reflections on a particular topic. These topics are usually quite abstract, meaning they deal with ideas and concepts rather than concrete facts. For example, you might reflect on your habits or qualities, things that define who you are. Or you could explore social, political, or domestic issues, which are often complex and thought-provoking. Philosophical subjects are also common in reflective essays, prompting deep thinking about existence, knowledge, or ethics. Additionally, religious and theological topics often come into play, allowing for personal insight and spiritual reflection. The key idea here is that reflective essays are deeply personal and involve contemplating ideas at a conceptual level. They give you a chance to explore and express your inner thoughts on meaningful topics, tying into the overall theme of understanding oneself and the world around us through writing. Now, let's explore what makes an essay imaginative. Essentially, these are essays that revolve around subjects like the feelings and experiences of a sailor stranded on a desert island. The key idea here is that the writer is asked to use their imagination to step into a situation they've never actually experienced. For example, topics like "If I Were a King" or "The Autobiography of a Horse" require us to think creatively and put ourselves in someone else's shoes, or even in the hooves of a horse. These essays challenge us to create vivid, believable scenarios based on our imagination, which makes them quite engaging. Connecting this to the overall theme of the presentation, imaginative essays are a powerful way to develop creativity and empathy, allowing us to explore new perspectives and express ideas beyond our personal experiences. They remind us that writing isn't just about recounting facts. It's about imagining and bringing to life new worlds through words. Let's take a moment to look at an overview of essay writing. In this slide, I want to highlight some key points that are essential for crafting a strong essay. First, Understanding the structure is crucial. Knowing how to organize your introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion helps your ideas flow logically. Next, the importance of developing a clear thesis statement cannot be overstated. It's the main idea that guides your entire essay. We also need to focus on coherence and cohesion, which means making sure your ideas connect smoothly and your writing is easy to follow. Additionally, supporting your arguments with evidence is vital for convincing your reader and adding credibility. Finally, revising and editing are the finishing touches that refine your work, catching errors and strengthening your points. All of these elements tie back to the overall theme of effective communication, whether you're informing, persuading, or exploring ideas. Mastering essay writing is a fundamental skill that empowers you to express your thoughts clearly and confidently. Now let's talk about how to write an effective essay. Every essay, no matter the topic, has a clear structure, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Think of it as telling a story with a clear flow. In a typical 5-paragraph essay, the first paragraph is called the introduction. This is where you set the stage, introduce your main idea, and grab the reader's attention. The next 3 paragraphs form the body of your essay. Here, you develop your main points, provide evidence, and support your ideas. It's the core of your writing, where your arguments or explanations live. Finally, the 5th paragraph is your conclusion. This part wraps everything up, reinforces your main message, and leaves a lasting impression. Understanding this structure helps you organize your thoughts clearly and ensures your essay is easy to follow. Remember, a well-structured essay connects all these parts smoothly, making your ideas more compelling and easier for your reader to understand. Now, let's talk about the parts of an essay, starting with the introduction. The introduction is the very first paragraph of your essay, and it sets the stage for everything that follows. It's where you present the main idea, or what we call the thesis, which is usually a single sentence that clearly states the core message of your essay. It's important that your introduction is engaging, because you want to hook your reader right from the start and make them interested in what you have to say. To do that, you might start with a hook or a dramatic opener, something interesting or surprising, to grab attention. Then, you'll include a transitional sentence that links that hook to your thesis statement, ensuring a smooth flow. The thesis statement itself is the main idea, and it often appears at the end of the introduction. But an introduction isn't just about the thesis. It also provides some background information about your topic, which helps your reader understand why your subject is important. You can include interesting facts or context that you'll explore further later in your essay. Remember, a good introduction usually has 3 parts: the hook to draw people in, the transitional sentence to connect to your main idea, and the thesis statement that clearly states what your essay is about. All these elements work together to make a strong start and set the tone for the rest of your writing. Let's talk about hooks or dramatic openers. These are powerful tools used to immediately grab your reader's attention right at the start of a paragraph, report, or essay. Think of a hook as a short, punchy sentence that sparks curiosity or makes a bold statement. It's typically placed right before your topic sentence to draw your audience in. By starting with a compelling hook, you set the tone and engage your reader from the very beginning. Remember, the goal is to pique interest early on and make your audience eager to read more. This technique is a key part of effective communication and connects directly to the overall theme of capturing attention and maintaining engagement throughout your writing. Transitional sentences are really essential tools in writing. They serve as bridges that help connect ideas smoothly, whether you're working on an essay, a paper, or any other type of writing. By using these sentences, we can improve the flow between sentences and paragraphs, making the overall piece easier to follow. They give our text a clear and logical organization, guiding the reader through our thoughts in a coherent way. So, in essence, transitional sentences are about creating a seamless connection that helps the reader understand how one idea leads to the next, which is a key part of effective communication in any written work. So let's talk about the thesis statement. Basically, it's that brief part at the end of your first paragraph, just 1 or 2 sentences, that tells your reader what your essay is all about. It's kind of like your roadmap, giving a clear idea of the main idea you want to explore. A good thesis statement should do 3 key things. First, it needs to clearly express what the essay is about, so there's no confusion about the topic. Second, it should make a discussable point, that is, something that can be debated or supported with evidence. And third, it should hint at the structure of your essay, showing the reader how your points will unfold. Think of it as setting the stage for everything that follows. It guides your writing and helps your reader follow your argument. So, crafting a strong thesis is essential because it anchors your entire essay and keeps everything focused. Now, let's talk about the body of your essay, which is really the heart of your work. These supporting paragraphs develop the main idea and give your essay depth. To make your writing flow smoothly, it's important to use transition words. These words act like bridges, connecting your paragraphs so your essay reads easily and naturally. Remember to place transition words at the beginning and end of your paragraphs to guide your reader through your ideas seamlessly. Each paragraph should start with a topic sentence that clearly states what the paragraph will cover. Then, you'll include detail sentences. These are the parts where you provide examples to support your main idea. For instance, if your topic is about healthy eating, your detail might include an example like how eating vegetables boosts energy. Finally, each paragraph should close with a concluding or transitional sentence. This sentence wraps up what you've discussed and prepares the reader for the next paragraph, maintaining the flow of your essay. So, in essence, the body of your essay is built on clear, well-supported paragraphs connected by transition words, making your overall argument stronger and easier to follow. As we come to the conclusion, I want to highlight that this section summarizes our key findings and insights. It clearly demonstrates how the main theme we discussed at the beginning has been fully explored and explained throughout the presentation. I believe it's important to reflect on how our work has reinforced the initial idea and shown its relevance. In the concluding paragraph, I like to restate the thesis in a slightly new way, reinforcing the core message and ensuring it sticks with you. This summary acts as a reminder of the main points and ties everything together. Finally, the clincher is what leaves a lasting impression. It's our last chance to make an impact, to connect deeply with the audience. Whether it's a thought-provoking question, a call to action, or a powerful statement, this final moment is essential for leaving a memorable impression and emphasizing the importance of the work we've done. Now, let's talk about revision. Many people think of revision as just copying what they've already written, but that's not quite right. Revision is actually an ongoing process that happens throughout your writing. It's about making thoughtful changes to improve your paper, ensuring that every word, sentence, and paragraph makes sense to the reader. There are 3 key areas to focus on when revising to improve your content and style. First is clarity. Ask yourself, is my essay clear and logical? Can someone easily follow my ideas? Second is unity. Do all my paragraphs relate back to my main idea? Everything should work together to support your central message. And third is coherence. Do your ideas flow smoothly from one to the next? Good coherence makes your writing easier to read and understand. Remember, revision isn't just about fixing mistakes. It's about shaping your writing so it communicates your ideas effectively and engagingly. Now, let's talk about proofreading, which is a crucial step in the writing process. Proofreading is different from revision. While revision focuses on improving the overall content and ideas of your essay, proofreading is about catching those small errors that can distract the reader. These include mistakes in punctuation, capitalization, spelling, and grammar. To help you stay organized, I've included a proofreading checklist. First, check if all fragments and run-on sentences have been eliminated. That's key for clarity. Next, make sure you're using the correct verb tense consistently throughout your essay. It's also important to verify that your paragraphing and indentation are correct, so your essay looks neat and professional. Another point is word choice. Does your essay use interesting and accurate words? Good word choice can make your writing more engaging. Then, look at your punctuation. Are commas, apostrophes, and semicolons used correctly? These small marks can change the meaning of your sentences. You should also ensure that subjects and verbs agree, which keeps your sentences grammatically correct. Check that words are capitalized properly, especially at the beginning of sentences and for proper nouns. Don't forget to use a dictionary or spell checker to catch any spelling errors. Sometimes, spell check misses context-specific mistakes. Pronoun references should be clear, so the reader understands exactly what or whom you're talking about. Lastly, consider whether any sentences could be combined to add variety and improve flow. Remember, thorough proofreading helps polish your S and makes it more professional. It's the final step to ensure your ideas come across clearly and correctly. And that brings us to the final slide, which is all about references. Here, I've listed some key sources that can help deepen your understanding of essay writing. You'll notice links to various websites like Paper Helper, org, Gallaudet University, SlideShare, and Time for Writing. These resources cover a wide range of topics, from the basics of essay structure to different types of essays and tips for writing well. The most important takeaway is that good writing isn't just about knowing what to write, but also about knowing where to find reliable information and examples. These references serve as valuable tools to support your learning and improve your skills. Connecting everything we've discussed, remember that mastering essay writing involves understanding different types, planning thoroughly, and using credible sources, like these, to strengthen your work. Thanks for following along throughout this presentation.